So, as we are already in chapter 18, so we have been discussing that in the past 12 verses. So, Lord Krishna presented this karma yoga sadhana, and especially this karma yoga sadhana technically was called as sattvic sannyasa. So, it also highlighted very carefully. Through this, one gets jnana yogyata prapti. So the preparedness of the mind for the knowledge. So while discussing this from 13 to 17, so these 5 verses are being talked about jnana yoga sadhana. So karma yoga sadhana, then jnana yoga sadhana. So the point that we saw in the last class, that the verse number when we saw how especially that panchetani mahabaho karanani nibodhami sankhye krutante praktani siddhe sarvakarmana. Then comes adhishthanam tatha karta karanam cha prathak vidham vividhascha prathak cheshta daivam chaivatra panchamam. Also, we saw sarira bangobhi yat karma prarabhate naraha nayam va viparitam va pancheti tasya hetavaham. While looking at these verses, Lord Krishna wants to highlight that the jiva, the individual, is mixture of chetana and achetana. So the consciousness principle and the inert principle. So in the presence of the chetana purusha, the consciousness principle, achetana functions. Like in the presence of the light, many things happens. Now I am talking, you people are listening. Suppose if it is a stadium, indoor stadium, lot of people are playing. Some people win, some people gets defeated. Many things happens in the presence of light. So that we say that in the presence of light, everything happens, but the light is not connected to anything. So that we use very nicely that sannidhi matrena. This is the technical word we use called sannidhi matrena. So you should remember this word, okay, I am going to sannidhi. So in temple also we say sannidhi, or sometimes all these matha, this is also called sannidhi. So that means it is their mere presence. They are not interfering, they are not doing anything, but only their presence, everything is being done. So also, without that, nothing is possible, but nobody recognizes. Without light, in indoor stadium, can you play? Can you do anything? Can any moment take place? Because you need the presence of light. So also, because of Chetana Tattvam in me, because of the consciousness principle in me, the achetana, who are the achetana? So that achetana was being taught that panchetani karanani iti. So what he was highlighting, that look, all these out of 5, especially 4, belongs to achetana. So that means the karma belongs to the sphere of achetana inert. So when the karma belongs to achetana, now karma phalam, where it will belong? Where it will go? It has to go to achetana. Is it clear or not? If the karma is being done by achetana means inert, okay? The body-mind complex, is it chetana or achetana? After so many classes, don't ask me, okay? So, body-mind complex, is it Chetana or Achetan? Definitely it is Achetan, it is inert. It is not conscious. It is moving with a reflected consciousness. We have discussed in 15th chapter in details, or else go back to 15th chapter, okay? So don't break my head. Go back. So here is being said, when the karma belongs to Achetana, the karma phala also belongs to what? Achetana. So that means I am not part of karma phala. But the problem is if I consider myself as Achetana. If I look at myself as Achetanam, so karma phala will belong to me or not? It has to. So this is the whole thing is being taught. Whether you do, verse number 15, whether you do any sort of karma, whether it's good or bad, nyayam va viparitam. Remember that what happens, these fives are involved. So to make it very clear, let us look at verse number 16. Very nice verse, which really talks very nicely and in a very gentle way, so that we can look at it. Tatreva sati kartaram atmanam kevalam tuyaha pashyatya kruta buddhitva na sapashyati durmati. So this verse number 16 and 17, very nice. So one is a common person, durmatihi. So other one is the one who is buddhimati. So durmati means whose mati is not okay, whose buddhi, whose vision is not okay. So anyathagati iti durmati, we say. So that means the person who sees things differently. If you observe very nicely, the way you are, you try to look at the world accordingly. So always you look at the world according to your vision. If you are insecure, you look at everything as sense of insecurity. If you are proud of anything, you will always look at that angle in everywhere. If you are afraid of something, only those things will appear, nothing else. So in short, you don't see the reflection of your body in the mirror, but you see the reflection of your personality in the mirror through the body. It's a very nice way to look at life. So that's why one is supposed to work to look at where I am wrong, not why people are looking at me in a wrong way. See, somebody started hitting. I told them not to hit, not to do any job. What can you do? So this is also, I have to learn, in spite of the noise, how to take class. So this is one thing I have to really learn. However, so here he says, look, tatra evam sati, this being so, that means the karma belongs to Achetanam and karma phala also belongs to Achetanam. This is the most important thing to understand, or else things will be other way around. So whether I am a Jnani Purusha or Ajnani Purusha. So what is the difference between Jnani and Ajnani? Very simple. That person is called a Jnani who knows that I am Chetana, I am conscious principle. Who is Ajnani? The one who considers I am Achetana, I am body-mind complex. It's a very simple format, okay? So whether you are a Jnani or Ajnani, whether a wise or otherwise, it is the mixture of both Chetana and Achetana. So if this is the case, definitely it depends upon how you look at your situation based on your knowledge. So the person here says, Kevala Atmanam So that means Kevalam Atmanam. The person looks at Kevalam Atmanam, the pure self. That's why Kaivalya. So there is nothing. But the person looks at the pure self, tu yah pashyati, he looks at, how looks at? Kartaram iti, as the doer. Because I am father, I am mother, I am this, I am that. If I don't do, what will happen? As though everything is going to collapse. Hey, don't worry, many people have come and gone. Don't worry. Okay. You also are one of them. Okay. Not that you are going to, take care of everything. Okay. Nothing is going to happen. And the worst part is the day you die, everything will be planned for you without you. Don't forget this. Okay. The best part is you want to do everything for others because you have taken a contract. But the day you die, your body will be disposed by others and the way they want. Even though you make a will, it doesn't work, okay? So unless you have some lot of wealth and other things, and you put somebody trustee or trust or the executor, okay, will executor, then there is a possibility, okay? If you don't appoint as will executor, I'm sorry, it will never work. However, let us not get into that controversy. So he says, look, the person looks at pure Atma, pure self, as Kartara. Why? Because there is Bhokta, Bhoktrutva in me. So that is the link. Now, because of that reason, now when I look at I am a doer, then what he says? Because of that reason, he says, look, it is because of Akruta Buddhitvat. So akruta buddhitvat means it is not kruta buddhi. It is not really matured intellect, not refined intellect. So it is because of lack of matured intellect. Now interestingly, that person na pashyatihi, and that person is called durmatihi. So he has a distorted vision. So his thinking is not okay. And you have seen also, when you have, please understand, any sort of ignorance, definitely you will have fear. Suppose you are going to a country, you don't know what is the country rule. Nothing you know. Especially even if you have visa, when you go to this immigration, so some fear will be there or not. Because you do not know what question they will ask, how to. That's why, especially when Indians goes to America, so they practice a lot, okay? What to answer, what not to answer. First time you should see. They, first of all, to get this American interview, they rehearse a lot, okay? After getting visa also, in immigration, you have to rehearse. There are movies on this also, okay? So how to talk, what not to talk. So some type of fear, okay? Let us not get into. That means ignorance gives you fear. But interestingly, self-ignorance creates arrogance. Ignorance creates fear. Self-ignorance generates arrogance. So whenever a person is arrogant, it is because of self-ignorance plus ignorance of that given subject. Is it clear? So that's why arrogance is not healthy. Some people say, oh, I function with arrogance. In fact, I use my arrogance. I become productive with arrogance. That means you are cretin, okay? So don't waste my time. It will not work. It does not work. This is the truth, this is the reality. That means you are not fit for Vedanta at all. This is the truth, this is the reality. Because if there is self-ignorance plus arrogance, can you really talk to that person? It is impossible to talk. So that's why here it's being said, that person is a durmati. And for that person, Vedantic study is a time pass. Like we go to movie with popcorns, okay? So how to time pass, okay? Because you are not interested in movie, somebody has pulled you to movie. What you do? Have you observed? People become restless, do this, do that. So nothing to do, carry some popcorns, okay? So you will be watching how to complete that 2 hours. Those days it was 3 hours, 4 hours, okay? So nowadays, at least, thank God, movies are becoming shorter, okay? Time will come, movie will be 1 hour or half an hour, okay? That also time is coming, don't worry. So how this eating popcorn is called time pass? For this sort of person, for a Drumati, Vedanta study is exactly time pass. And when this sort of thing happens, now what can be done? That's why nothing to be done. The first and most important thing is self-correction. The person has to learn, correct one's own self. Because if samsara, the world, gives you a different type of reaction and you react to that, that means there is something wrong in me, not with the samsara. The reflection, samsara is another mirror. You only get back those reactions which is related to you, not related to anybody or anything. So that's why akruta buddhitvat. That means those who do not really spend time for self-knowledge. Their buddhi is not krutam, is not refined. Because for them, everything is primary except knowledge. Knowledge is byproduct, okay? But primary is their own insecurity, their own name, fame, or whatever. So that becomes primary. In fact, today I was writing one point I should really share with you all. So I was looking at this thing, that how this situation moves in life when you want something that never happens. I don't get, who are God. Oh. So this is going to come. So this is what certain intellectuals question why people go to temples or study scriptures, arguing that these activities are unnecessary when the focus should be on working for survival. Okay, many of you don't believe on survival because already you are surviving. So name, fame, money, this, that, let me do this, blah, 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 okay? They claim religion is for the weak-minded, driven by fear. However, the teaching tradition asserts that religion is for a mature mind. As the mind matures, an appreciation for the importance of God and spiritual knowledge grows. Failure to recognize this is seen as an unfortunate obstacle, a kind of papam. So this post is coming very soon. So today I was just sitting while preparing. So I thought, okay, this thought came. So this is a papam. So that's why here it's being said, asanskruta buddhihi, akruta buddhi means asanskruta buddhihi, whose buddhi is not refined yet. So when buddhi is not refined, now for that person what happens? Nothing. Avidyayam antare vartamana swayam dhira manyamana. We have seen in Kathopanishad. The one who lives in the ignorance but consider himself a wise person. Now to that person, can you talk anything? I know. And if you know, please know. Who says no? Okay, I'm just playing with the words, okay? K-N-A-O-W, N-O-N-O, okay? Both are. So that's why, very nicely, we are in, Bhaja Govindam, what? Pasyanapi na pasyati mudaha udara nimita bahukruta veshaha. So there is being talked a sadhus, different just for the sake of belly. So they are being decorated, some, lunchida kesaha, or mundanam, or with beard, different ways. But here, kasayambara, but here you do different things. It's not for that here. You do many things. For what? Like in Hindi say, it's a very bad word, okay? This is called, again, Muslim culture. Papi pet ka sawal. Hey, papi pet ka sawal kya hai? Okay, those who will not understand. So the belly belongs to means it's a, it's a pahabam. It's a very ordinary. It should punya pet ka sawal, not pahabam. Okay. So that means what? You are doing many things for what? For not your survival plus. That's the I am highlighting. Okay. So for you, survival plus is more important, and self knowledge is secondary. Time pass. It doesn't work. Okay, that's enough. Swamiji, what happens to other? Now let us read the 17, okay? Yasya naham kruto bhavaha buddhir yasya na lipyate hatvapi saiman lokan na hanti na nivadhyante. This is beautifully, we need to also look at. Now this line highlights about, verse number 17 highlights about a jnani. Sa yasya na ahankara bhavaha. So that means the one who does not have this notion called I am doer. Yasya buddhi, whose intellect na lipyate, is not affected, is unaffected. Na hanti, does not kill anyone. Hatva api, even if while being engaged in the action that involves even if lives. Iman lokan, these people, nor nivadhyate, nor he is bound. In fact, this verse is highly misunderstood. How? This 17 verse, very clearly we need to see, it talks about a jnani. So who is a jnani? That you have to understand. In fact, Pujya Swamiji used to look at this verse very carefully. A person cannot become a jnani overnight. It never happens. This overnight enlightenment never happens. A jnani must have a systematic spiritual lifestyle. I have seen one now present so-called jnani. Is very much famous in West. Comes to once in a while. Rishikesh. I remember because when he moves, the amount of body spray he puts, he doesn't take a bath. The amount of this body spray puts, wherever he goes, you cannot think of. And when Pujya Swamiji was there, one day he came to meet him. And you may believe it or not, after he left, the whole room was disinfected. The machine had to come to disinfect so much. Because you call that person as a Jnani. So he's very popular in Western fellow, okay? Now, can you say that if you don't have Deha Jnana, at least take bath, shower properly, okay? You have matted hair because you don't care about body. Then why are you putting the body spray? How is it contradicting? So here he says very carefully that the teaching very clearly highlights that it's called spiritual lifestyle, which is followed by spiritual teaching. What is spiritual teaching here? Teaching is that I am the mixture of Atma and Anatma. But through the teaching, I don't associate with Anatma, but I associate with only Atma. Is it clear? So the more I am associated with Atma, this is called Nitidhyasanam. The more I am being elevated. The world does not change, nothing change. I only get matured. I don't change also, okay? I get matured. That means I develop a thick skin. That's the better word, okay? Nothing affects me in a good sense, okay? Don't use in bad sense. Because some of you have got so thick skin, nothing will enter, okay? Nothing enters. Especially my words. Some of them, no, let him talk whatever he wants. After a few minutes he'll talk, then after that he will forget. Then we will do whatever we want. Yes, this is what truth. I don't care also, do whatever you want, okay? So, coming to the point here. So, when a Jnani person, quickly we'll see this, so that a Jnani person must have a systematic spiritual lifestyle backed up by spiritual teaching, that too systematic teaching. Because of which the person is aligned with the nature. But here in this verse says, even if he kills, something happens, still he is not affected. Why and how? Suppose a Jnani is a Kshatriya. So he is in the war. So he has to do his duty. He can say, no, I am a Jnani, I cannot, it will not work. So in that case, with dharma, even the person kills, does not get affected, is not part of that, because knows I am doing my duty. That's why we have rules. If a police kills or army kills a person, is awarded. Whereas we kill, what happens? Because they are doing dharma. But when we kill based on our likes and dislikes. We kill based on our insecurities. This simple rule we have in every country. So that is what is being highlighted here. That means when gunaha guneshu vartante, when all the sense organs also they are being engaged in indriyani, indriyasu vartante, they are being engaged. Let it happen. And the wise one is not affected. But wise one will not kill anybody. Remember this point. That's why somebody asked question to Puja Swamiji. If a wise person kills, Puja Swami said, hey, don't bring this word if, okay? It's impossible. Because a wise person must have what? A systematic spiritual lifestyle. If a person doesn't have systematic spiritual lifestyle, that person can never become a wise person. It is not overnight. It is not, conferring saintlyhood. It does not work. More of it. Verse number 18 onwards, we'll see. Different chapter. Please close your eyes. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.